Hello and welcome. You've found the Social Work Podcast. My name's Jonathan Singer, and I'll be your host as we explore all things social work. Hey there, podcast listener. It's June 21st, 2009, the first day of summer. By now, all of the schools of social work in the United States have had their spring graduation and unleashed tens of thousands of newly minted social workers into the world. You might be one of those recent graduates. Like those who came before you and those who will come after, you've spent the last 2 to 5 years becoming socialized into the profession of social work. You've written thousands of papers, spent thousands on books, spent close to thousands of hours with clients. You've had your share of group projects, process recordings, videotaped assignments, and all that jazz. All to become skilled professionals who can provide competent and ethical social work services. Well, today's podcast is a tribute to you. And what better way to pay tribute than to hear from a fellow student? Today, we're going to hear Allison Anais Brunner's 2009 MSW graduation speech from Temple University's School of Social Administration. In her speech, entitled, "When in Doubt, Give Hope," Allison juxtaposes the anxieties and doubts that recent graduates feel with their professional responsibility to hold hope for their clients. She describes her own doubts as a social worker, relates those to her personal moments of doubt, and shares how she drew from those experiences to help a client. Now, using our experiences to benefit our clients rather than ourselves is what we call professional use of self. And as Carl Rogers demonstrated many years ago, bringing our genuine self to the clinical relationship is one of the most important things we can do to help our clients. So, I dedicate this podcast to you, our profession's newest members. And now Allison and her speech, "When in Doubt, Give Hope."
Welcome, School of Social Administration deans, faculty, staff, students, and our family and friends. What a journey. For 2, 3, and for some of us, even 4 or more long years, we have sacrificed leisure time, financial comfort, sleep, meals, visits with loved ones. In fact, I almost didn't recognize my own parents as they arrived today to witness this event. But at last, this moment is upon us. We have demonstrated to peers, professors, advisors, field instructors, and the gods of social work that we are now masters. Master clinicians, master community organizers, master program managers, and master policymakers. From today forward, we will cure the ills of our society, help communities flourish, run successful nonprofits, and assist clients with chronic mental health problems to achieve global assessment of functioning scores of 95. Right? Okay, so maybe the title master is a bit overstated. Maybe some of us still get tripped up while reflecting clients' feelings and believe deep down that if our supervisors could bug our therapy sessions, we'd surely have our diplomas taken back. Maybe some of us are not quite so confident that we can go into communities and be successful organizers. Maybe some of us wonder if our role plays have truly prepared us to run board meetings and social service agencies. Maybe it is a good thing that we begin our careers with a healthy dose of doubt. But the one thing we shouldn't doubt, the one thing I believe should be the main ingredient in all social work, is the power of hope. Most of us remember feeling nervous starting our first year field placements and thinking, do they really expect us to work with clients when they haven't yet taught us how? One of my first clients was a woman who was so depressed that she could barely function. She believed that she would never get better. And I thought to myself, How can I possibly help her? Until I remembered that I, like most of us, have also deeply despaired. I decided to flip through old journals I'd written during my darkest days to remember what had kept me hanging on. In the margins of my journals, I discovered words that were not my own. They were my therapist's. "You're okay just the way you are. It's okay to feel depressed," she told me. I'd written them during our sessions so that I could hear her voice even as I left her office. In her words, I found hope. Her unrelenting faith in me planted a seed of hope that soon sprouted into a deep desire to live, and to live larger than I ever thought possible. I believe that hope is intrinsic in the individuals, families, and communities we serve. But what do we do when people feel hopeless? I believe we do as my former therapist did for me when I wasn't able. We hold the hope for them. That is what I did for my first client. When she told me she could never be employed, I held hope for her. Currently, she is in her 5th month as a full-time certified beautician. We have chosen to work in the trenches of a field where our efforts rarely reward us with immediate gratification. There will be days, probably more than not, when we wonder whether we're making any difference at all. When clients relapse, communities exhibit apathy, and our legislators make policies that further disenfranchise the vulnerable and the marginalized in our society. It is at these times when our beliefs in the human spirit and resiliency and our faith in the people for whom we are fighting is most crucial. Author Anais Nin wrote, "And the day came when the risk it took to remain tight inside the bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom." This reminds us that we are like gardeners, dropping seeds into the outstretched hands of people seeking our services. If we remember that people are the experts of their own lives, then our job is to nourish them by allowing them to become the best they can be. It is easy to think that all we need is a fancy set of gardening tools. But no tool, no technique is more important than knowing how to plant the seeds of hope. And with that, I would like to thank the professors who held the hope for us, encouraging us when we doubted ourselves. I'd like to thank the liaisons who signed us to field placements rich in educational worth and invaluable experience. Thanks, Paul. and the advisors who helped us plot our course through graduate school. Finally, I would like to thank my parents for teaching me never to quit. Most especially my mom, whose words of hope resounded in my thoughts on the days I felt I couldn't possibly write one more paper. She said, since I was a little girl, "You can do anything you set your mind to." I might have forgotten that lesson at times, but Mom, you never did. Thank you for holding hope. Thank you, MSW Class of 2009, for allowing me to represent you. And congratulations, BSW and MSW grads, for all of our hard work and for never giving up hope that we would see this day. Congratulations.
I'm Jonathan Singer, and thanks for being with me today for another episode of the Social Work Podcast. If you missed an episode or have suggestions for future episodes, please visit socialworkpodcast.com. If you'd like to support the podcast, please visit our online store at cafepress.com/swpodcast. To all the social workers out there, keep up the good work. We'll see you next time at the Social Work Podcast.